Yaakov's days are coming to an end, coming to a close, and he turns to Yosef and says, Asisa imedi chesed ve'emes, do chesed ve'emes, do kindness and do truth. Al nasik bereni b'mitzrayim, don't bury me in Egypt. Instead, bring me to my family's plot in Artzeinu HaKadosha in Eretz Yisrael. And Rashi points out, what exactly does Yaakov mean when he says to Yosef, do for me chesed and emes? He says, are they two separate things? Rashi says, no, it's really one thing. The mitzvah to bury somebody is not just a chesed, but it's actually chesed shel emes. It's truth in loving kindness. And that's where you have the combination of the two. That there's an act of chesed, but within that chesed is really truth. Truth in loving kindness. So therefore, when Yaakov says to Yosef, do chesed ve'emes, he's really saying, do chesed shel emes. And that's why on Parshas VaYechi, there's always a big push to talk about end of life and how to ensure that our loved ones are given the proper dignity at the end. But the Ibn Ezra on his commentary, he has a quick little note. He says, go take a look back in chapter 24, and that's how you'll know what chesed ve'emet is talking about, what it means. And you go back to that story, and that's when Eliezer is talking to Lavan and Besuel about the prospects of Rivka marrying Yitzchak, and he turns to them and he says, if this is what you want to do, or if you're prepared, do for me chesed ve'emes, and let me know if this is a good shidduch. Otherwise, I gotta go home. And they say, Me Hashem yatzah davar, this came from Hashem, this is good. So what does chesed ve'emes mean? Says the Ibn Ezra, chesed means something that you're not obligated to do, and you do it anyways. Emes means fulfilling that thing that you pledged to do. In other words, chesed ve'emes are really two things. They're two requirements, two requests. Do for me chesed. You can be a kind person and not be an emestika person, and you can be an emestika person and not a kind person. Why is that? Because chesed is rooted in compassion. If you're compassionate, then you're the type of person that will want to go out of your way to go above and beyond for other people. But emes, truth is rooted in yashrus, in being straight. So they're two very different character traits. I can be a straight person, but not necessarily a compassionate one. I have no obligation to be compassionate. My job is just to be yashar. And I can also be someone filled with rachamim, filled with mercy, but not someone who has a value of yashrus. Because essentially, chesed is midas harachamim, and emes is midas hadin. And what Yaakov is saying to Yosef, and what Eliezer was saying to Lavan and Besuel was chesed ve'emes. In order to be a successful person, you need to embody both values, both the midas hadin and the midas hachesed. When they're fused together, you're a person that can balance the importance of going above and beyond, but at the same time recognizing that there is a time where you have to be straight, and that sometimes will overpower the midas harachamim, the urge to be compassionate. When we have that balance of emes and chesed, of midas hadin and midas harachamim, that will be the best version of ourselves. So Yaakov turns to Yosef and says, do for me a chesed ve'emes, al natzik merini b'mitzrayim. He's appealing to Yosef, and he says, look, I understand there's two ways to look at things. There's a life of all on chesed, only chesed, and there's a life of only yashrus, of only straight and narrow. He said, I need you to do this combination, do both. Do this chesed for me, and recognize in the chesed that there's also an aspect of emes. Fulfill that action. Be yashar, in addition to being kind. May we all be blessed to have that amazing combination, that powerful combination of midas hadin and midas harachamim, and by doing so, we will be much better people, better judges of character of others, and also the ability to ensure that we can improve the lives of everyone around us, because we are great evaluators and we also understand ourselves even better. Have a wonderful Shabbos.